Morning, Nick. How are you?
Well, first of all, it's 4 minutes to one. So,
Okay.
unless it's a different time zone in Morningside in Edinburgh, is it? I bet it is because it's quite posh.
Yeah, no, it is the afternoon. I
It
wanted
is.
to ask you today what made us become entrepreneurs? What made us really essentially unemployable uh,
Yes,
to the point where we've run our own businesses for a long time. Me since
yes,
I was 26. You since you were 19, your first business.
yes. I have been employed in various parts since I was 19. But yeah, the lion's share of my life has been self-employed. That's right.
And what was it about our upbringing? Because our mum was a teacher. She's not naturally an entrepreneurial profession.
No, no, no.
What was it that made us both go into business for ourselves, do you think?
Because, and I think we should tell the viewer this, that actually before she became a teacher, when she left dad, she only had one O level, and that was in what was called domestic science.
Okay.
So, what we witnessed, did we not, is we saw her going to further education college and doing her O levels, then her A levels, then a degree, then the teaching qualification, and finally becoming a teacher. And I think that was, and also set against the background that both sets of grandparents and great grandparents had all been self-employed. So we were self-employed was something that was in the family, was it not?
Yeah. Yeah.
And seeing, certainly for me, seeing mum achieve something from absolutely nothing, just with application, hard work, and endeavour, was a very good template. But I was 14 years of age when I knew that I wanted to be self-employed.
Which is a really young age to know that. I didn't know until I was 26. It was an accident that I became self-employed.
Right.
I left a job in a bit of a huff.
Okay.
And they'd not given me the pay rise I thought I deserved for reaching a really big target. And
Right.
I spoke to some business contacts and they said, well, why don't you set up your own recruitment business? Because that's what I was in. And I said, I can't do that. I had a mortgage. I was the main wage earner, 2-year-old child. I had a nice car, 55 grand a year, share options, a pension. And I went to sleep on it and I woke up the next morning and thought, why can't I do that? I
Yeah.
can do that.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the end of that video then, isn't it?
I know, but what was the impetus for you?
That's, I like to be in control of everything. That's
Ah,
ultimately the thing, is I like to be in control of everything, which, I mean, there's an irony there, isn't there? Because at the moment, I'm not in control
yeah.
because I'm self-employed. It's one of the downsides of being self-employed. Although, since I am 52 years of age, this is, to be fair, the first global pandemic. So
Yeah, yeah.
these are rather strange times. But yeah, I just wanted to be in control. I don't, it's just, that's the bottom line. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think people think that it's really hard to start a business, and I want to reassure people it's not hard to start. It's difficult to grow and sustain a business, definitely, but to start is easy.
It's easy.
It takes 10 minutes to fill a form out at the
Mm.
company's house and 12 quid, and you've got a limited company. And then it's about 24 hours before you get one of these new online business banking accounts, and then you're in business.
Yeah. And I didn't even do that because I was a sole trader.
Yeah, you don't even need to do that.
Do you know what? That reminds me of a story. I was at a networking event many, many years ago, in Claridge's actually,
Oh, nice.
in London on Brook Street. And a woman came up to me. It's full of women who had just started their own businesses or who wanted to start their own businesses. So it's an all-female networking event. But I was asked along to basically answer any questions, mix and mingle. I could sort of stand in the corner and people could ask me questions. And a woman came up to me and she said, what training did you do to become a trainer? And I said, well, none. And she said, well, didn't you go and do a course? I went, no, I just somebody said to me over a cup of coffee, oh, we've got 4 salespeople in our magazine, but none of us really know how to sell. And I went, well, I might be able to help you with that, because I used to sell and I've had formal sales training. So why don't I write a sales course and I'll deliver it to you? Went, oh, would you do that? And I went, yeah. So I wrote a sales course as best I could and delivered it and sent him an invoice. And that was it.
And that's it. And you start with what you know. You start with what you know. You start with what you're passionate about. And you say pretty much yes to everything. And then worry about how you're going to deliver it later.
Yeah, unless you want to be a self-employed vet or a dentist.
In which case you really have to.
In which case you actually do need to get some qualifications. Oh, I don't know. Just got a thermometer, stethoscope, white coat, and said, "Look, I'll look at your cat," and it went from there. You know.
I did. In order to get like really good gigs, though, we have both gone back to learn from people who know more than us. So I've got a master's degree from coaching and in coaching, and I went back to learn how to be a trainer of NLP. And you've gone back and done further study to enhance what we all
yes, that's an important point, to enhance. Stephen Covey, in his famous book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of those habits is called sharpening the saw. And that is about constantly improving your own skills. So I tend to go on a course a year. Definitely. My own development, and that's in addition to just continually reading about what it is that I teach, which is negotiation and people skills. So constantly learning about those things all the time, adding to my bank of knowledge, as you do. Yes.
Yeah, and we've got our course. If you're thinking about starting your own business, or you're wondering about changing the business that you're in, go to Thinking Big on our platform, because that will really help, won't it?
Yes, in fact, I did that 2 weeks ago, and it was a good refresher as to why it is that I first started my business, the Thinking Big thing. It was very useful.
Good, wonderful. All right, well, get started now, whatever it is you're thinking about doing, and we'll speak to you again tomorrow.
All right then. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.